So if you're fishing for why I'm reading the book, that's why. You know, back in the 60s when people were normal. The problem wasn't that people would turn him down, but that John had very different feelings about whom he would interview. In general, celebrities were verboten. How about Spike Lee, John, we'd say. He's political. John would shake his head. Alec Baldwin, he'd groan. Sarah Jessica Parker, she's an activist. That was a particularly bad idea. The two had gone out once or twice, and John felt Parker had publicized their dates. He'd never let us write about her for anything. Anyway, we'd yank and tug, as if trying to walk a very large and intractable dog, but John wouldn't budge. Celebrity, it became clear, bored him. It separated him from life's everyday pleasures. A quiet walk, an uninterrupted meal, and it certainly wasn't the aspect of George he wanted to focus on. The people, I got that at the last chapter. The people who fascinated him committed acts of heroism without benefit or expectation of fame. You know, and to the bimbos, I say F you, and I don't give a goddamn about your fandom of Jim Morrison or any fucking body else. I don't give a god fucking damn about your adoration of Jim Morrison or anybody else. So go fuck off! An example. Some months down the road, I assigned a story on the film A Ghost of Mississippi to Willie Morris, the fabled Southern writer. Willie had been a consultant on the film and wrote a moving piece for us about the murder of civil rights leader Medgar Evers and the district attorney who almost 30 years later convicted white supremacist Byron D. LaBeckwith. The DA's name was Bobby DeLaughter. DeLaughter? I guess it's DeLaughter, but it's spelled laughter. Willie Morris was old school, charming, gracious, and courtly, a natural storyteller who wouldn't let a phone call end without inviting me to come on down to Jackson. I felt fortunate to work with him, but he was on the downslope of his career and deeply sentimental about the past. People said he drank too much, which may have been why it was impossible to reach him before noon. Yeah, everybody in the world knows me like a book. They have the Encyclopedia of Susan compiled over, and all these psych experts and the neurologist experts. Right? They got them all. What are they batting in baseball terms? Like maybe 0? People said he drank too much, which may have been why it was impossible to reach him before noon. I preferred to think that he was locked in his study with his Smith Corona and no phone. Yeah, I had a Smith Corona typewriter. Willie was, I still have it. Willie was the last writer I knew who actually mailed in a typed manuscript. Working on Ghosts of Mississippi invigorated Willie, and one day he called to announce that he was coming to New York for its premiere. He was organizing a dinner at Elaine's, the East Side watering hole that established itself as a hangout for hard-drinking writers in the 1960s. His old friend, Bill Styron, would be there, he said, as would Rob Reiner, the movie's director, and Bobby DeLaughter. Would I come? Would John? So you're talking about what the quote Obama on the radio. First of all, I said, so I get images as I'm walking around, and there was there's a house on Bay Boulevard, and it's got like the Marine Corps. It's got a mailbox with the Marine Corps emblem on it, and there was like an overgrowth or of weeds or something on the mailbox. But the whole rest of the front of the house was nice and tidy. So it crossed my mind, oh, is somebody gonna and when all this is over, renovate this house, and my parents are gonna come back here or something? So I said something like that, and then we hear Obama on the radio saying, "It's what great nations do." And I said, to that, I said, excuse me if I'm not of the haughty and supercilious mindset that you are, but recording fart noises of private citizens without their knowledge or consent is what great presidents do, right? And then listening to it and saying, hey, that was a good fart. That's what great presidents do, right, asshole?